call meeting for 3 bills this morning, Intergovernmental Coordination Committee. First on the agenda, are you going to handle this for Mr. Rice?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We'll call House Bill 396, and folks, will be working off a substitute LC 285629S. Has everybody got that in their packet? All right, if you will, sir. Please state your name.
Sure, my name is Mark Middleton. I'm an attorney here in I'm a resident of Peachtree Corners and have been working with the group on this effort. The substitute you have before you has one simple change from the original bill, and that's correctly spelling the word Berkeley, our neighbor just to the northeast. So that was a little bit of the crack legal work there, but on my part. Mr. Chairman, if you'd like, I'll just give you a quick overview of what the bill does. It creates a city, with the full powers that, as you normally see in the GMA model bill. There's one exception to that. We have decided to take those full powers and focus them on 3 things: garbage collection, code enforcement, and land use. And if the council, if it's approved, if they ever wanted to go beyond that, to do parks or police or anything beyond that, they would have to have a full referendum by the people again. So that's probably the most unique feature of the bill. It provides for a mayor city council, mayor city manager model, 6 city council persons with 3 elected from districts and 3 at large. We're looking at a referendum to be held in November, which is coincident with a SPLOST vote that's already taking place, and then if the referendum's successful, to have election of council members and the mayor on presidential primary Tuesday in February or March of next year. I'd be happy to go into it in more detail if the committee would like, but that's a quick overview of what the bill does.
It's my understanding that you also have provided, and this is a general bill. This is not a local bill. Okay, this is a general bill, and the reason it's a general bill that you're actually creating a nonpartisan election of your council. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. That is correct. And
that's why it's a general bill.
That's right. Okay. Under your Rule 50, that's what the requirement is.
Okay. Do you have any questions of the gentleman? Mr. Hurd?
Yeah, I have a question. I guess are we creating more government here?
No, sir. I believe what we're doing is allowing the people to govern closest to themselves. I mean, we have a situation in our area where, those land use issues and those code enforcement issues are very important. Chairman Coleman could tell you we're in a little piece of Gwinnett County to the extreme far southwest, and we're a little bit in no man's land over there. We're not, Dunwoody's to the east, and you have some unincorporated piece of Gwinnett. You have Norcross to kind of the east and north, and it's just a little corner of the county over there that we believe would be better situated to be a city. We had a very comprehensive study done by the Vincent Institute, and because we're blessed really with a nice balance of commercial and residential property, from a financial standpoint, it actually lays out very well, and I would say, favorably to some of the other cities that have been approved in recent years.
So you currently don't have a mayor now, correct?
Yes, sir. That is correct. We
don't have a mayor. You don't have I would imagine, a chief judge, associate municipal court. You don't have a manager.
That's right.
So if you don't have that now, I would say that you are creating more government.
Well, technically we are, but the purpose of that is to bring government closer to the people so we can have a role, a bigger role in what we're doing there in our area. I mean, we will have 7 council members. We will have a city manager, as you indicated. Currently, we are, represented by one of, is it 5 county commissioners, Mr. Chairman? 5. So, again, in that corner of the county, we're just kind of in a little unique situation in terms of maybe not being in the mainstream of the county, in my opinion. I don't know if Mr. Rice would feel that way.
And then my only other question is, at this time when the state's strapped for cash, cities are strapped for cash, counties are strapped for cash, it's not that I'm against what you're doing. I'm just saying we are actually creating something that's going to need finances, correct?
It will need finances, and you'll see in the bill there's a 1 mil cap, and we believe, and this is substantiated by the Vincent report, is that we've had some controversy in our county about garbage pickup, and we believe that if the city undertakes to contract with a private company to collect their own garbage, that there will be a substantial savings from what residents are currently paying. So, for instance, I think on a $300,000 house, a mill would be $200 a year. We're hopeful to get close to that $200 level in savings on garbage pickup alone, and it's a little bit unique to the area just because the homes are so densely situated in our area that we think that we'll be able to experience those savings, and I don't think anyone could make that as a promise at this point, but I think we're going to get very close to our residents experiencing a kind of a net effect from this. Paying a little more in tax, but they're going to save a good bit more on their garbage pickup.
I just want one more statement.
Go ahead.
That we've seen this happen previously in those counties that have been created, those cities, should I say, have wanted to come back to us for funding, help. In some cases, we gave it to them, and just that I would say we probably should be very cautious at this appointed time if we create anything that's going to create more government at a time when the economy is in a downturn. Yeah. And that's just my
Representative Hurt, I believe your neighbors over at the Vincent Institute. I'd love to sit down with that report and go over it with you, because it was they were very impressed with our situation over there, because we do have a unique balance of commercial and residential property that I think compares very favorably with some of the other cities you've seen come through here.
First, I'll let Mr. Anderson, then Mr. Coleman, if you will. Mr. Anderson.
As a city, would you have your normal increase in taxes just as a city?
Yes, sir, and it would be capped at 1 mil.
Okay, and then also, like you said, the savings that you see that you would make, do you feel like it would wash out to where the citizens really would not have a tax increase?
I think it's going to get very close. I mean, you obviously would like to under promise and over deliver, but I think it's going to. I think residents in that area will be very pleased with what they get in return for what they pay.
What would be the estimate population of the city?
We're just under 40,000. It'd be right at we're working from 2,000 numbers, and then we'll be working from 210 numbers when they come out. But our area has not seen a big influx of population. There's been a shift somewhat. I think we're right under 40.
And that would be what percentage of Gwinnett County?
Gwinnett 750,000.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Coleman.
Yes. I just want to say, first of all, that where he's talking about Peachtree Corners was the place where Gwinnett really started experiencing its first tremendous growth. And at the time in 1970, when Peachtree Corners was developed by Paul Duke, it was envisioned to be a city at that time, and of course with the little problems that he had with his development of a combination of business and homes and everything. It was well designed, probably the most well designed area in Gwinnett County. The dream for this city with some apartments, some homes, some businesses, and Technology Park is right in the middle of it. And that was the vision of Paul Duke, to have his technologies in place. So I know they've talked about it for years. And my question, and I think it's ideal. Of course, matter of fact, I opened the first elementary school in that area, Peachtree Elementary, and I was principal there in 1970-75 when this dream was trying to develop. Of course, with the mall, that stopped. But the question I would ask, and I think I'm surprised it hadn't become a city before this, but have the voters had a chance to decide on this? If y'all had a straw poll? That's my question, if I may.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Well, the initiative has been aired throughout the community, primarily through the homeowners associations, both in the neighborhoods and our neighborhood association, and the the reaction's been overwhelmingly positive. We have not done any statistically significant polling, but we have members from all all demographics, all areas of our proposed city that are leaders that are stepping forward and are going to support us on this thing. And I'm expecting a favorable vote in November.
They would vote before this happened.
Yes, sir.
That's what I'm saying. They would have a chance to vote.
The referendum would be in November, according to the schedule.
What I've heard from people, they want it, and I think it would automatically become the second, possibly the second largest city in the county when it was incorporated at the time. I think it would have been. And they have the infrastructure to support it. And the second question I have, I know cities have to have so many services, but you're saying you're going to have garbage,
code enforcement, and land use.
Is that enough?
Yes, sir. That meets the criteria.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. But I think it's good. Something.
This is a question I have, if you don't mind. I don't see a referendum in this bill.
That's what I was. That's why I asked that question.
For the initial.
Yes, sir. There's no referendum in this bill. I just want to let you know that.
No, it's back. It's back here in the back. Let me see. I'm looking at page 30. That'd be Roman numeral Article 8.
Yes.
It talks about after we get pre-cleared, of course. Then you would have the opportunity for that on the first Monday in November. And again, part of the reason for choosing that November date was that there was already election there. So we're trying to, to Mr. Hurd's point, I think we're trying to keep the costs down. So we didn't want to go have a special election that would cost a bunch of money. We're going to have it coincident with an election that's already scheduled. There was to the point of how popular this is. There's a big call, and folks calling on Representative Rice to try to get this done sooner, as early as March of this year or June of this year. And so the idea of going to November and then on to February of next year is what the bill reflects.
We've wanted it since the early 70s as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Question, if you don't mind.
Yes, sir.
How much does a mill bring in your county?
$12 million.
12
million a month.
a month?
12 million a month.
12 million a month.
That's countywide.
So you're anticipating a mill of 12 million a year?
No, sir. No, sir. We're a small.
Countywide.
That's why I asked that.
It's countywide.
What do you anticipate your millage rate to bring in?
I don't have that information.
You've got a 1 mill rate. 1 mill in your county is 12 million. Out of the 40,000 people there, do you have any idea what your mill would bring?
We have a very solid idea, and it's in that Vinson report that I don't have with me right now, and I apologize for that.
So you think that 1 mill will cover your total city cost?
We do. I mean, and again, it's set forth in that Vinson report, and particularly in light of the fact that we're focusing on those three basic services. So the county will continue to provide police and park and really the more expensive things that a government has to undertake.
My question to you is, at some time or another, the county has to provide you with police, fire, and all that kind of. You're just going to do your landfill stuff and sanitation, basically your code enforcement and yours. Okay,
that's right. And honestly, Mr. Chairman, that's one of the reasons the county is so supportive of this. Is that it'll be the status quo for them in many respects, except for those three areas that are set forth in the bill.
Your sheriff's for that? I'm just asking. I mean,
I'm unaware of any objection and to the bill either from the commission, sheriff, or any of the other county folks. And this thing's been pretty well vetted. I wouldn't want to speak for anyone.
I guess I'm just asking about your police faction. I'm from down South Georgia. The high sheriff is the main man down where I live. So you will have police activity from the sheriff's office. Is that correct? Is he more or less an administrator, or do y'all have a county police department?
We have a county police department as well, and a sheriff.
But the sheriff, basically administrator, does the court stuff, and then
right.
You got a county police chief and that kind of thing.
Right. And again, one of the one of the. Go ahead, Mr.
I was
Chairman.
just going to say they're serving them now. The county serves them.
I got you.
We have
I just want to make sure.
we have 14 cities in the county, and of the 14 cities, I think 6 or 7 have their own police department. But the county police are already serving Peachtree Corners. They've been serving that area for years, and so there's no additional service. The fire, they already serve by fire. That area has one of the sewer treatment plants is located right in the heart of there, the county sewer. So they provide sewer, water, police protection already. And matter of fact, the only reason they want to do their garbage, they can get it cheaper, but that's been the only controversy we've had in the county is the fact that the county forced this central garbage on everybody. So a lot of cities have taken over their garbage. So that's.
I guess another question, if you will, follow up on this. As far as the city itself, where do you dump your garbage? Where's your landfill? Do you know the answer to that?
It's the most unique place we have in the state. It's one that's an example of what we need to use. It's right there in Peachtree Corners on the southern eastern end of where the city would be. There's a garbage dump, and matter of fact, that's one of the dumps we tap for natural gas that Norcross City uses buys gas from that landfill. So it's one of the most modern, up-to-date landfills we have.
So you're doing your methane reformation out of the.
Yeah, using one of our cities.
Okay. Any other questions?
Motion when you're ready, Chairman.
So make sure we got any. Okay. At this point in time, if you would like to make a motion.
Move to pass by committee substitute.
Second.
Okay. Let me remind everyone. Ward has told me, Mr. Lamb here has told me there's a missing page. Is that correct?
It has been restored. You may not have it before you. We just got it before the meeting. It is identical to the language that was in the original bill. It was the district description for the council district.
I think that will be page 35.
It was left out by lead council. They brought it to us just before the meeting, but not in time to include in the substitute.
There's just some language that needs to be added. It's basically he's going to try. You need to get that to us.
Yes. I will show you what it looks like, and we can make copies very quickly. This is it.
It's just the description of the property.
It's the same language for the substitute.
Basically, it just gives you the boundaries, and basically it's just the physical lay of the land. Basically, does anybody need questions? Does anybody need copies of that? Do we have a motion? Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a second motion and a second. Any discussion at this point in time? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no.
No.
We have 2 no's. You want us to take a hand vote, please? All right, make sure. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, all opposed? 2. 5 to 2. The bill will pass. We will carry that on. It is a general bill. It will go as a debatable issue on the floor, and Mr. Rice will have to take this to rules. Okay.
I'll let him know.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Thanks.
Next on the list, Mr. Flood, my good friend from Ways and Means. We're going to do 398 first, and then we'll do 411. You want to explain your bill?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen of the committee. I bring to you today a bill that would simply update in Fulton County a pension plan that was established in 1945 for non-teaching members of the Fulton County school system, bus drivers, custodians, and cafeteria workers in particular. The plan was a local constitutional amendment, and since we do not any longer do local constitutional amendments, we have to use this method in order to revise the document. Most of what we, in fact, the essential focus of this bill is to update some changes that were made in the 1994 and the 1994 and the 2009 modifications. And so, if you will follow with me, the bill, by the way, has no fiscal impact, and there are approximately 3,000 participants in this plan today. The bill, Section 1, is a typographical error, refers to a section that is no longer in existence. Section 2 is another typographical error, and Section 3 is also a typographical error adjustment. Section 4 brings the plan into compliance with the Uniform Services Employment and Reemployment Rights Act of 1994. Section 5 is a typographical error. And the typographical error in Section 5 is the plan refers to a Section E, and there is no Section E. Section 6 is also a typographical error, as is Section 7's. Section 8.
And if you don't mind, if I can ask you a question, who typed this up with all these typographical errors?
Well,
I think it was Mr. Anderson,
I think that person is no longer here.
No longer with us? Or just no longer?
That's when they were using
I understand. I'm just giving you a little grief this morning.
Understood, Mr. Chairman. Quite all right. And then Section 8 clarifies the rights under the Uniform Service Employees Employment and Reemployment Act of 1994. The bill before you does two things. It corrects typographical errors in most cases, and then secondly, it brings the bill into compliance with federal law.
Okay. Understand now, ladies and gentlemen, this is not a retirement bill as it looks like a retirement bill, but it's not. I just want to make sure that everyone on the committee understands that. It doesn't hold the thing of having to have, you introduce it in 1 year and you have to wait till next year. This is not one of those. I don't think you don't have to go through any of the actuarial study, do you?
No, but we did get a note from the Department of Audits that clarifies that it is essentially required to make the changes under the provision of the federal law, and it has no fiscal impact.
I understand it has no physical impact on the state. So, and again, if for you freshmen that may not know that if you introduce a retirement bill, you have to introduce it in an even numbered year, and it is only passed in an odd number year because the actuarial study has to be. Is that right, or is it odd number year than even?
The first year of the biennium is introduced.
Exactly.
And then it's studied in the summer, and then I'm going to tell you, we've had to do. And that's why I was wondering, because we had to do. You remember some of this with our other retirement systems,
right,
to bring them in compliance. So that's why we wondered about the compliance.
I just want to make sure that I check with Legislative Council, and I also check with Bill Riley, and this is not one of those that meets those.
Okay. That was my question.
And just also, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee, I have members of the retirement board here today if we have any technical questions that I'm not able to address.
Ms. Stevenson?
The ticket requirement applies to fiscal.
What's that? Fiscal bill. That's correct.
Education bill is working that way now. You haven't called.
Understand. Yes, ma'am.
Well, Mr. Chairman, my comment was answered. I was going to say it applies to fiscal, and the reason why it's even is because you have the terms that start primarily on even years, and you won't lose a bill the first year you study. The second year is still there for the action.
I got you.
You actually said what I was going to say.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Stevens. Any other questions of the author? All right, I'll entertain a motion. Move to pass. So do I have a second? Any discussion? All in favor of the bill, please state by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? All right, Mr. Flood, you know that you will have to take this to rules.
Yes, sir.
All right, I just want to make sure that you understand that. All right, your next bill is 411. You want to explain your bill?
Thank you. I bring for your consideration, members of the committee, a vote that would allow the election of the probate court judge in Fayette County to be provided in a nonpartisan fashion. Currently, the magistrate judges, the Superior Court, and the state court judges are all elected in a nonpartisan fashion, and this would simply bring the probate court into alignment with the other judge elections in Fayette County.
Okay. Any questions of the author? This is one of these election bills, and again, it's a general bill. I just want to make sure that you know you have to take this to rules if we do pass. I will entertain a motion. Mr. Coleman says he wants to move forward. A second. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? And we're all out of here. And
thank you, members of the committee.